So, hi everyone. Thank you so much for joining our webinar today for about enhancing your customer experience with social media listening. My name is Selena. I'm a marketing manager here at UScan, and today I'm going to be the host of this webinar, followed along by our main speaker, Alex Orup, who is the founder and chief growth officer at UScan. Before we start, just a couple of words about UScan. So we are a social media listening platform, helping brands and agencies to analyze what is being said about them on social media. I would like to inform you that at the end of the webinar, we are going to have a quick Q&A session. So please ask as many questions as you have, and Alex will be answering them after the webinar. So now I would like to pass my word to Alex.
Hi everyone, and thanks for joining our webinar today. In the next 30 minutes or so, we'll be looking into how social data can be used to enhance your customer experience management process. We'll be looking at the benefits of social data in the context of customer experience management. We'll also talk about some challenges with social data and see how AI technologies, artificial intelligence, can help overcome them. And I will show some real examples of how UScan platform can be applied to uncover consumer insights in texts and images on social media. Before we start, let me introduce myself. My name is Alex Orup. I'm the founder and chief growth officer at UScan. This year, I was honored to be included in the Social Intelligence Lab Insider 50, a first fully curated list of social intelligence professionals. Some of you may be familiar with UScan already. We are a social media intelligence platform that helps businesses listen to their customers and uncover consumer insights to improve products and services. Our platform collects and analyzes 500 million public data points from social media daily, brand mentions and images from 500,000 sources, and applies artificial intelligence to help you get to the consumer insights faster. We are a company that was established in Ukraine over a decade ago. Back then, we were among the pioneers of the social media listening industry, and since then, we have kept building one of the most sophisticated platforms for social media analytics on a global market. We are a team of 75 people, software developers, data science experts, and analysts, with a substantial part of our R&D done in Kyiv and a distributed team in 14 countries across Europe, US, and Mexico. We serve more than 400 customers, including major consumer brands and agencies. We are very proud that among many accolades and recognitions from our customers and industry experts, UScan was named Cool AI Vendor for Marketing by Gartner and the best social media monitoring software in Martech Breakthrough Awards. Okay, now let's talk about the role of data in customer experience management. Markets and consumer attitudes are changing rapidly today, and growth-oriented companies, of course, try to be customer-focused and prioritize customer experience. This is perhaps the best way to gain competitive advantage and improve customer retention and accelerate growth. Customer experience management has a lot of aspects and components, but it all starts with a customer-centric culture that honors customers above all. Businesses with a customer-first mindset make customer experience a core factor in every aspect of their business. This customer-first mindset, of course, must be supported by the services and processes that ensure great customer experience across all the touchpoints. For example, customer support, customer success services, and quality assurance process, and the continuous improvement of products and services that company provides. But ultimately, it's the data that helps businesses understand customers better, and this data powers the whole customer experience management process. Customer feedback data that we collect directly or indirectly, consumer research data gives businesses insights that can be acted upon to optimize processes and create added value for users. So how do you get this customer feedback data? Of course, there are all of the traditional ways to get it, like customer surveys, for example, but as many market research and consumer experience professionals will attest, there are challenges. There is a need for faster and more agile consumer research. For example, when you launch new products and need to collect customer feedback really quick. And in general, there is an increased demand for data and insights in business. On the other hand, there are challenges like survey fatigue. Many customers are tired of surveys, they ignore them, hence there are low response rates, there are low show-up rates for focus groups. Customer feedback is often biased. For example, customers may tend to share mostly negative feedback or situation-driven feedback, and you might be missing out on important insights from other parts of the consumer journey. Many customer research professionals I talk to also mention issues like repeat respondents, panel composition issues, etc. I believe many of you can relate to these problems. On the other hand, we are witnessing an explosion of social media usage across the globe. It was further accelerated in the past years with the COVID and widespread lockdowns, and now also with the new platforms that gain popularity like TikTok. And so many consumer experience professionals turn to social media for consumer insights. And indeed, social media is there on every step of the customer journey. Customers often ask for advice on social media when they are looking for products and services. They compare products and services before the purchase and often discuss their pros and cons in dedicated communities online. After the purchase, many of customers will take it to the social media to publicly praise or complain about their customer experience with brands. Many of those who had great customer experience will ultimately become brand ambassadors that will recommend and promote your business on social media. This is, of course, what most of the businesses are looking for. The best customer is the one that promotes your business without expecting any returns. So yeah, this tells us social media can be a great source of consumer insights if you could capture these conversations and analyze them. And I would argue that social media addresses challenges and needs of consumer research neatly, but only if you are equipped with the right tools. Let's see. So first, social data can enable rapid research. Basically, you can fire up your social media listening tool like YouScan and get the initial data set to be analyzed in minutes. This is especially important if you are dealing with an unfolding crisis or doing a product launch analysis or just need to get initial data samples to test out some hypotheses quickly. Social media listening gives you access to undistorted opinions. Sometimes social media is called the biggest focus group in the world, but I think it's not exactly correct. People share their views on social media absolutely unguided. So it's a great source of consumer opinions and feedback that you would not be able to solicit using other research methods like traditional focus groups, for example. And of course, on social media, you can glimpse what customers actually do, not just what they say or write. For that, you can analyze not only their textual posts, but also images and photos they share. But social data is not without its issues, of course. Social data is very unstructured, it's not uniform. Look at this post on Reddit, Consumer Business Review on Google Maps and TikTok. They are all related to the same brand, but the formats are very different, so it's not an easy task to reconcile them all for analytics. Social media is noisy, there are genuine consumer opinions shared on social media, but also a lot of self-promotion, commercial content, or outright spam. There's too much free text data that's hard to synthesize for insights. And of course, it's often vague and nuanced. Luckily, with the advances in AI and social media listening tools like YouScan, It becomes easier to tackle all these issues and turn social data into valuable insights that can be acted upon. The process of listening to your customers on social media basically consists of 3 steps. First, your social listening tool is used to set up a search query, we call them topics in UScan, that will collect the data you need. This query can contain brand name, for example, to collect mentions of the brand, or product names, to track and analyze product-related discussions, or even your competitor's name. In UScan, we also allow you to go beyond the keyword-based data collection. Our platform allows you to collect visual data from social media as well. For example, images that contain your brand logo or specific text in images. Based on this query, social media listening platform will pull the data for you from different sources. In UScan, we cover all mainstream social media platforms, including new popular ones like TikTok, as well as product and business reviews on app stores, on Google Maps and e-commerce sites, which often contain the most interesting and substantial consumer feedback. Our platform also covers a long tail of blogs, forums, community sites, where discussions are happening online, and even online news media. Our platform then works behind the scenes and uses its AI powers to present the data for you in the most convenient way, so you can quickly navigate it, sort it, filter it, analyze it, find insights, build reports that you need, and share them with your team. A big part of data analysis that UScan does is based on what's called NLP, natural language processing, a subset of artificial intelligence algorithms that analyze texts. Remember, we discussed that social media is very noisy, that there is tons of data that is not so helpful for consumer insights. We have developed algorithms that let you automatically filter out what's not important. For example, commercial content, and focus on posts that are related to specific parts of the customer journey, like their questions related to products and services, posts where they compare different brands, or where they complain or praise or recommend brands. Then there is another way to look at the data in UScan. Again, our algorithms work behind the scenes and categorize brand mentions depending on the context of the conversation. This way, for example, you can quickly see mentions of your brand that are related to broad subjects like health or food or even politics. Then there's automatic sentiment analysis, of course. Our platform automatically categorizes posts into negative or positive or neutral, and builds automatic reports that let you track how consumer sentiment towards your brand changes over time. What's also important is that you can set up automatic alerts that will notify you if there is a spike in negative posts related to your brand, so you can timely address issues that customers are having and prevent the potential reputation crisis that may be caused by negative comments if they go unchecked and viral on social media. Of course, automatic sentiment detection can't be 100% accurate, and I would argue that even several people don't always agree if something is positive or negative, but we put a lot of effort to train UScan's AI models to ensure that sentiment detection is highly accurate, up to 95% of accuracy, in fact. Also, in the UScan interface, you can override the sentiment that the machine have set for a specific mention, and this way the detection also improves over time. And what's perhaps unique about UScan automatic sentiment detection is that it is object-oriented. So, for example, if you analyze mentions of Nike, then Nike is an object of your analysis, of course. And so if there is a tweet containing both positive and negative mentions of the several brands simultaneously, for example, I love Nike, I tried wearing Reebok and it wasn't good for me, then YouScan will categorize it as positive because you're interested in sentiment towards Nike brand, and here they say I love Nike, so it's positive. Now, in the context of customer experience analysis, it's often not enough to track general sentiment. Posts on social media are often nuanced and they contain consumer opinions and feedback about different aspects or attributes of the brand, often in the same post. As you can see here in the illustration, this post about Sephora, it mentions customer service, it mentions assortment. So we trained our AI models to distinguish sentiment towards different brand or product aspects, more than 20 of them already. So you can quickly identify, for example, positive opinions about the customer service or negative opinions about product quality without the need to read every single mention. And again, there can be a lot of them. Here is an example of how this automatic analysis can be used in the context of product launches. Skims is a popular brand established by the celebrity Kim Kardashian, and recently the company collaborated with Italian fashion house Fendi, creating a collection of co-branded dresses and accessories. There was a lot of consumer feedback on social media about this new line of products, and it would be very difficult to analyze it manually. But with automatic analysis, it's very easy to see that most of those who posted online their opinions about the new line of products, they liked design, but not so much price. And here are some examples of the posts mentioning price. As you can see, YouScan very accurately identify them as negative about the price in this case. And here are some of the positive opinions about the design. Now, there are cases when you need to categorize consumer opinions in a very specific way, unique to your consumer research needs, or when you need to identify mentions related to specific parts of the consumer journey, unique to your business. And in this case, we can train customized text classification models that will apply AI and tag the posts that you need with your unique tags. For example, one of our customers from the travel industry needed to automatically identify posts where customers mentioned positive experience with their brand and that were also associated with friendship. So we trained a customized model for them to classify such posts, as you can see here. And finding these posts helped them to get a better understanding of their customers' happy moments and use these insights to further reinforce their brand strengths. And of course, it's helpful to analyze the perceived strengths and weaknesses of your brand in the broader market context. And one of the ways to do it is to compare your brand to competition. Here you can see the YouScan report, which shows two charts side by side that present the analysis of consumer opinions about two popular electric vehicle brands, Tesla and Polestar, which is a new EV brand from Europe. It's easy to see that brands are not so different from each other in a sense that most of the customers mention their high prices negatively while praising the performance. But Polestar, in consumers' eyes, has much better design. Positive mentions about Polestar's car designs are prevailing here. Insights like this can help you develop brand messaging and positioning, and of course, enhance the parts of customer experience that require improvement. Now, there are two aspects of the customer experience management. One is identifying consumer insights, and the other one is quickly acting upon them. For that, UScan can be integrated with other tools, CRM platforms like HubSpot, for example, messengers like Slack or Microsoft Teams, and help desk platforms like Zendesk. So, for example, you can set up rules that will automatically send customer complaints on Twitter or other sites that UScan finds on social media to your team workspace so they can be quickly acted upon. Now, there is a massive shift underway in social media. It's becoming more and more visual. People publicly share billions of photos and images there daily. For the customer experience management purposes, it's a new opportunity to see real-life consumption situations from the consumer perspective and to learn about behaviors and brand associations that your customers are having, and in general get a whole new layer of insights. In UScan, we process 50 million images from social media daily, and the artificial intelligence does all the heavy lifting in categorizing them and making them accessible for analysis. Our computer vision engine detects hundreds of brand logos and more than 1,000 different objects, scenes, activities, and demographic parameters, and lets you build automatic reports based on this visual data. Before I show you a short demo of these capabilities, let's quickly touch on which tactics brands can apply to motivate customers to share more feedback on social media. Because of course, the more feedback you're able to capture and analyze, the better it is, because it allows you to act on it and improve customer experience. The first tactic that many brands use, like Lush, natural cosmetics brand in this example, is to reshare customers' posts and images from the brand's account on social media, giving credits to the authors of the initial posts, of course. It's an opportunity to see your post or image shared by your favorite brand that motivates many customers to mention it more often on social media, and that is of course also great for brand marketing. Another tactic to encourage your customers post a product feedback is to automatically send them a request to share the feedback after the purchase, for example on e-commerce sites. And of course, when brand is known to be responsive on social media, like Pringles brand, as you can see here, that answers almost any consumer complaints directed at it, then the consumers will be inclined to share more feedback with you in real time. And it's perhaps the best way for you to identify any issues and problems early on and improve your customer experience. In the next few minutes that remain, let's quickly see a live demo of some of the most interesting UScan features that we touched upon today. Here is a demo account in UScan platform where I created several topics or search queries. They collect mentions of Tesla and its new competitor, Polestar, by tracking public posts that contain their brand names. And also there is a topic that collects mentions of Starbucks. In this case, we are tracking posts with a brand name as well as posts that contain images with Starbucks logo. Let's use Tesla as an example first. Now, Tesla is a very popular and successful brand, so there are tons of mentions of it. We are looking at just 1 month of data, only from authors based in the US and Canada. And they posted close to 1 million mentions on social media during this period, as you can see. That's a lot. UScan automatically detects trends and viral conversations that are driving discussions, represented by these green and red and blue bubbles. And as you can imagine, there are all sorts of contexts in which the brand is mentioned, like politics, economics, environment and climate change, stock prices, weird things that Elon Musk does or says. Is it all useful for customer experience analysis? Not at all. Is it possible to analyze all these posts manually and find consumer insights this way? Absolutely not. But YouScan's artificial intelligence does magic. So in just a few clicks, you can cut through the noise and get the insights that you need. We can apply filters. For example, let's focus on the consideration stage of the customer journey and try to learn what kind of questions they ask when they consider a purchase. Conveniently, YouScan already categorized all these thousands of posts so we can choose questions. Let's also filter out everything that is not related to cars. So we navigate to subjects and let's choose autos as a subject of our analysis. Now we can navigate to the mention stream and see actual posts and understand what people are actually saying and asking. We can go even further and look for posts with questions related to specific product functionality, like for example, autopilot. So I typed query here to see the posts that mention autopilot. Here we have them. Let's change our filter slightly and go back to the analytics. Let's still look at the word of mouth, but as a broad category that contain all the opinions and comparisons and questions. Let's drop a search for autopilot. Let's focus on discussions related to cars. So if I navigate to this report called aspects, here we can see how different aspects or attributes of the brand are perceived or as they're discussed by consumers. And we can drill down to specific aspect of interest. Let's have a look at positive mentions about the customer service. So here are posts where people really praise Tesla's customer service on different platforms, on Twitter, on Google Maps, on Trustpilot, and others. If we go back to the analytics and navigate to the word cloud report that we also have here, it will give us an overview of the most used words and phrases used most often when people praise Tesla customer service on social media. For fun, we can even look at the emojis that are most often associated with Tesla's great customer service. So here we have them. Now, Tesla is an extreme example because there are so many different types of conversations on social media that mention Tesla, and the volumes of data are very high. And your brand may be not generating such a massive amount of buzz, but you can already see how you can use YouScan to cut through the noise, switch between qualitative analysis and quantitative reports, and focus on aspects of data that are useful for your specific consumer experience analysis goals. Now, the image analysis capabilities are even more exciting to me. Let's see what they can reveal about the Starbucks brand and what we can learn from all the photos that people share every day on social media that contain the brand's logo. I will now navigate to the Starbucks topic and go straight to the Visual Insights report. Here you can see all images from the social media posts related to Starbucks, sorted by engagement, and many of them do not mention Starbucks explicitly in the text, but there is a brand logo that our computer vision algorithms detected. Like in this post, for example, it's very popular with lots of views and likes on TikTok, and the brand just got a massive exposure due to this native content. However, if the brand is not tracking logo appearance, then these posts like this would not be tracked and insights would not be discovered. You can look for very specific consumption situations on photos. For example, here I filtered photos by object, dog, and image type, selfie. And we can see that selfies with dogs and Starbucks coffees are popular. Dogs are popular companions in cars where people drink Starbucks coffee on road trips, it seems. There is much more to Visual Insights, and all these capabilities, frankly, just blow my mind. For example, reports that show the most popular scenes and objects and engagement and relations, and you can compare different brands. But I'll stop here as we are running short on time and invite you to try it for yourself. To conclude my presentation, here are some of the key takeaways. Social data can be a great source of insights for your customer experience management. So if you're equipped with the right tools like UScan that help you cut through the noise and automatically analyze strengths and weaknesses of your brand as perceived by your customers and see real-life consumption situations, it's a big step forward in your customer experience management. And it's not so difficult to start. Today we've just scratched the surface of what's possible with UScan, and we'd love you to try the full power of our platform applied to your brand mentions. So please follow this link to request your demo access. We'll set up a trial account for you, no strings attached, and let you play with the actual data. Thank you very much for listening, and I'm happy to answer your questions now.
So thank you, Alex, for this insightful presentation. I feel that social media listening has like a huge potential for the customer experience, and who are not yet monitor their conversations and images on social media, missing this so much. So I see that we have a couple of questions here. So guys, feel free to drop your questions here in the Q&A session if you have so. So the first question is it possible to export the data from UScan to share it with the other teams?
Right, it's a great question. Thanks. So we think that social media should not be contained to social media listening platform or a team that does consumer research on social media. It should be shared within the organization. It should be acted upon. So yeah, I mentioned that UScan allows you to send insights and mentions in real time directly to your CRM platform or Messenger or help desk platform, but also you can export the reports that we have in UScan. All these reports that I showed you during this short demo can be exported, and you can build your custom dashboards that will combine different types of data, different segments of data, different types of insights into the customized dashboard that you can share with your team. Like for example, you can share the link to this dashboard, and those teammates who do not have access to UScan, even they can still access it just by clicking on this link and seeing these insights in real time. You can also export the data in PowerPoint and other formats. So absolutely.
Yeah, thank you. So the next question is, are there any capabilities for reporting? I feel like this is like the question about like some customizable reports.
Yeah, I think we covered this one. So yeah, there are many reports, and I showed you a couple of them, just scratching the surface. And then there is a customized reporting, customized dashboard that I mentioned. So yeah, the reporting capabilities are plentiful.
Yeah, thank you. And the last question that we have so far is, so that starts with a compliment, actually, that Visual Insights feature looks interesting. What are the most common use cases for brands besides improving customer experience?
Yeah, it's another great question. Thanks. So we are super excited about our computer vision capabilities. We call them Visual Insights, and use cases are numerous. For example, as you have seen during the demo, you can see consumption situations from a consumer perspective. You can see what kind of associations people have with your brand, how it appears in their daily lives. You can identify influencers. So, for example, if you notice a person a person on social media who has a lot of followers and he's drinking from Starbucks cup, or wears a t-shirt with your brand logo, then perhaps he has some affinity and some loyalty to your brand, and you can reach out and maybe turn them into your brand ambassador. So influencer discovery is a very important use case here. And also we see that sponsorship analysis is becoming more popular. Many brands are, for example, they're sponsoring sports events, and it's hard to quantify the add-on exposure that they have on social media from these sponsorships. But with image analysis, you can capture all these posts and images that contain, for example, athletes and teams and your logo in stadiums, on the boards, and see what resonates with audience, how many people actually have seen your logo during these matches or due to these sponsorships. So sponsorship ROI measurement is another use case that can be unlocked with image analysis.
Yeah, thank you. And personal question from me, why not? What do you feel like it's going to be the next step in social media listening?
It's a good question, Alena. Let me think about it. I think we can dedicate like a whole new webinar.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, let's do it. Well, actually, I think that there are many trends, and the importance of new platforms and niche platforms is rising. So many brands, for example, are interested to track not only mainstream platforms like Instagram, but also some like niche platforms like Twitch, for example, where there are e-games streams, and a lot of these gamers, they feature some brands in their streams. One of the examples, another example is Pinterest, which is not always covered by social media listening tools, but we cover it in UScan, and it's a great source for consumer insights as well, because you can learn from visual content on Pinterest, see what people pin, what they like in relation to your brand, or in general what other trends, let's say in furniture, or in some outdoor recreation, what kind of photos people like to keep there. So one of the examples like niche sources and communities that can be tracked online. Another is, of course, the importance of visual data. We talked about it today, and we think that the brands they just start to unlock the value of this visual insights. So we are big believers in this capabilities and the value that visual analytics will bring to brands in the future. That's just a few ones, but there are much more, of course.
Yeah, thank you. So yeah, Alex, thank you so much again for this great presentation and a great demo. Thank you guys for attending our webinar. So you're definitely gonna receive the recording of the webinar. I wish you a great day and a great Friday ahead. So thank you so much again. Have fun.
Thanks, everyone.